Morning everyone, it is Wednesday the 29th of July 2020, almost into August. I'm going to do a quick market scan, and again, sorry if I yawn, I haven't slept, just not sleeping. I average about 3.5 hours these days. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's really odd. Okay, so looking at the indices. All right, so taking the daily into account, they've kind of, some of them are now in a downtrend. It's still high risk, because there's always lots of buyers in the market. Are we overdue for a correction or a bigger retracement on the monthly or weekly time frame? Yeah, we are, or at least if we were, it wouldn't be a bad thing. But does that mean that's going to happen now? No, not necessarily. The market is definitely on juice, so it could continue. So I'm just really cautious when I do that. If I do short a trade, I'm very quick to take profit at 1-to-1 and reduce my risk and my exposure if I do that. I think potentially we could still see a bullish day by the end of day today. And actually the first clue would be, let's go look at the Asian session, Tokyo session. So they still kind of bullish at the moment on the daily. Let's look at the Nikkei, looking a bit more bearish. There we go, lower highs going into a level of support that could fall through. So maybe by the end of the week we'll be down, looking bearishly on Australia. Okay, so there we go. So that does imply potentially a weaker US session. So maybe today is the day to start looking for shorts on that. All right, cool. The dollar basket, looking at that, it's still very weak. Although it's a little overextended on the daily, and it would be lovely to see it come back. I look at the 4-hour, and there's no signs of it wanting to do that at this point in time. It actually really looks as though it wants to keep going. And that could be because it was just consolidated for a while, and it's really good to go. Best way to do it is let's have a look on the weekly and see how overextended it is. On the weekly, I would call that overextended, but we've had that in the past here. You know, we had that recently. So that, and on a monthly basis, let's have a look. Not so bad at all. Not really bad at all on the monthly. And we're close to a new month. We are coming into these key levels. So certainly 92, 93. Possibly that's where it's heading. So I'll just keep that in mind when I do this. That means that euro dollar will conversely is looking like it wants to carry on going, and we've got 1.18 just up ahead, so that would match. That actually makes sense. So that's probably what I'll look at today. We've got a cable putting back into the previous highs. This could be a very nice buy opportunity against a previous level of support with a weaker US dollar. That's not overextended. Nothing here is overextended except the daily, but if the dollar is going to be doing the giving, then it can do the taking. Excuse me, Australian dollar, US dollar breaking through resistance. I like that. That could be the case. Consolidating, which means it won't be overextended on the daily. So there could be some big moves there as well. Potentially Kiwi dollar will be similar, but Kiwi dollar, I was saying, wouldn't it be nice for it to come back and test that? So any drops back down to this level, I would then look for that. I'm not seeing that today at the moment. Dollar yen is testing level of support, so that's cool. It's definitely overextended, but it also looks relatively weak. So that could be a potential trading opportunity on the break below the low of that. But I'll only know that later in the day. Dollar Swissy looks bearish. Again, overextended on the daily the same way as the dollars, but it looks like it really wants to head lower. So I'd keep an eye on this level. I will be keeping an eye on this level of support, but that could be shorting opportunities there. Dollar CAD does not look as cool as either of any of those. Euro GBP has got a strong level of resistance where it is. It looks like it wants to take another run at that. So I might have some longs on that. It's not really the best one that I've seen. Euro Aussie is coming back onto test level support, and in fact a bullish candle here would be really good. And that reminds me, I was looking for a swing trade on these ones. There we go. Okay, so that could still be a swing trade happening there. I'll keep an eye on that. CAD Swissy short, I think. There we go. So there could be some swing trades there. I just remember that from yesterday. It's been a long day, so I just got a lot on my plate at the moment. So let's have a look at this. Let's go back. So Euro Aussie is coming back to test level support. This could be a swing trade opportunity, a buy opportunity at the end of the day, which makes a lot of sense given that there would be a level of support, a level of resistance that has subsequently become support somewhere. It's probably going to be that 1.64 level, which is what it looks like. So I'm going to just mark that. I'm not going to adjust the level to suit, kind of suit me and just bring it down here, although that might be the case. It does really look as though the closest round number combined with a really nice flush of those levels is above the daily candle. Euro Kiwi looking nice and bullish. That's great on the daily, which usually means this is looking good. So Euro Kiwi looks good for longs today. Euro Yen also might be setting up with a swing trade to go long later. Keep an eye on that. So that means long trades today, and there's a possibility here for this. Look at that. Very cool. Either a breakout or break and a retest of that level and go long. This is really cool. So let me talk about this for a second. So swing trading and day trading can have similar returns, generally speaking, but day traders will often think that they make much higher returns, but it isn't necessarily the case. Much greater volatility, double-edged sword. So get this. This could be a potential trading opportunity if I wait until it has closed, if it closes higher, and then my entry could be up here, my stop loss below the low. But I could take the same trade with my entry above this flat level and my stop loss below that swing low, if that's the case. It's higher risk, but it's massively higher reward. Excuse me. So it's massively, so that could be the potential opportunity. A break of this level with my stop loss below the most recent swing lows would give me a tighter entry with a more reasonable stop loss, which would improve my reward to risk ratio, but it's still piggybacking on the same momentum. But it's a double-edged sword, because it could still bob around for the rest of the day and break out later, or close at the end of the day to the upside. So it might get a false breakout. But I'm just highlighting that because that could be a possibility there. And Euro Swissy also looks very keen to do a similar breakout. Okay. So could be something there as well. Euro CAD almost, okay, it's a little overextended. So I'm going to pass on that for now. Right, Euro CAD 4 hour. So it might be something there. Excuse me. Pound Aussie. Alright, so you know my plan because I've done that in a separate video. So if you haven't seen that, you can go watch it. It was done yesterday, and it specifically talks about what is my plan on Pound Aussie. Pound Kiwi. Pullbacks on the 4 hour for longs I'm happy for, but that may not be today. It may only be tomorrow. Might be in the middle of the night. We'll see. And I do think there's some potential for this. So some of the GBP pairs are actually looking bullish, which could be interesting. So notice how I'm looking at the daily, even though my intention might be to trade the 15 minutes or the lower time frames. All right. So running through this, like this immediately actually is a no. So pound Swiss is absolutely a no. There's no sensible, rational reason to trade this. It just doesn't make sense at all. It's a washing machine, tumble dryer. It's just going to kill you and take your money. So there we go. If that's what you want, if that's your bag, go for it. GBP CAD, absolutely loving that. So let's mark that off as a potential trade in this area. I'm just going to do this and mark it like that, but that's what I'm looking for. This area here actually would be great. Buying opportunity. So let's mark it, and I'll just put it down here because I think that's where it's likely to be. Aussie Kiwi is bullish. It's looking really good. In fact, Aussie Kiwi today should definitely be on my watch list. It's a little overextended on the 4 hour. Not so bad. Not so bad here. But a potential buying opportunity there. This could be a bullish candle here, so that might be a nice little opportunity here. My charts are just going to get filled up with all these objects. That's a mess. The daily looked really good from where it is, so it could ultimately still move to the upside. And there could be a tighter entry again. So for example, there's an uptrend here. So one of the ways in which I could do it, it's not the most efficient way, but it's not bad either. Entry above the high of this high here, stop loss below here. That way it's not as bad as a daily candle. It's on the 1 hour time frame, and it would if it does then decide to take off. But the only problem here was this double top here, so that could be one option there. Aussie Swissy level support, I don't like that, not great. Aussie CAD is bullish. It's just not the best one I've ever seen, but it is trending upwards. It's just sliding upwards in a very choppy fashion. Not good at all. In fact, Kiwi Yen looks bearish. Kiwi Swissy looking bearish. Kiwi crosses might be good to go short on. Swissy Yen. I highlighted that, as I said, which was earlier, CAD Swissy and Swissy Yen as potential swing trades in the direction of the trend. And CAD Yen looks like that's going to break support and drop. So there could be something there. That's it. Let's have a look at gold. So gold, I marked this area as a danger area, but 2,000, to be fair, 2,000 is a very significant level. So I'm going to go through and mark it on the monthly, because I think that that is, oh, what happened there? Oh, it's probably on the lower level. So I think that that is beautiful. That is something that I want to be aware of. Okay, so that would be my monthly level there. Going back down to the daily. Yeah, there we go. Cool. It's so close. Look how close it got. It was literally 1981, which was a good year. It's so close to that. So it might just try and make it and then reject it. But it's running out of steam, so I'm cautious. As I said, I'm not trading it. I would much rather wait for a pullback to 1900 or further down and then look for longs. So I'm out of that for now. Silver, same thing again, man. Look at 2,600. That's really, really gone. 3,000's up here. Silver's got a nice bright future ahead of it. It's got some challenge it has to get through. 2,800, I think, off the top of my head. If it can get through that, it's got a lot of room to go. High-grade copper. That has got to get past that level there. Crude. Okay, so crude oils are looking a bit bullish on the lower time frames. They're just not delivering on the daily, so effectively they're consolidating. So they could, again, they're still in an area where they could turn around, and they're not going anywhere, and they haven't. Believe it or not, look at this. They haven't gone anywhere. Effectively, we got here in the 19th of June, on the 19th of June, almost, excuse me, a month and a half ago. And they haven't really gone anywhere since in this whole month, largely in that range. So it's not that they won't, it just means I'll check it again later, but I shouldn't be stressing over the fact that there might be a trade setting up and then the next few minutes and I'm going to miss it. I would say just check it every few hours and see if it started, or put alerts on so it's not to break higher or break lower. Coffee looks like that's pulling back down. That's been a nice trender. Lumber looks fantastic. Bitcoin and Ether. Okay, so that's beautiful. It's nice and bullish here at the moment. Lower time frames. It's had a consolidation on the 4-hour. It looks nice and bullish. So it's got some resistance here. There's local resistance here. It is overextended. If we look at Ether, Ether's still got some room to go to get to 350. I mean, that's its ultimate target. That's where it's wanting to go to. And I was waiting for it to do a pullback and go. But it looks like very similar, funny enough, similar to gold and silver. Like they're so close to their end target, they might as well maybe just push it and go. So that being that, let's see. And then, as I said, the indices are looking quite bearish. So just looking at Tesla here. Right now, in the lower time frames, it's not open yet, but that looks like it wants to go lower. Now, I've seen these things bounce, I have, but price action there looks nice and bearish. So it's going to be an interesting day today, I think, with the indices, with the potential for them to go low, which means they'll be driven. It'll be driven by Tesla, Apple, as Amazon, which are all very much overvalued. And so they'll be the things that are pulling everything down literally around the world. So we'll see if that is the case today or not. I don't expect that to be the case. I'm saying they're showing some signs of it. They are overextended. They're overvalued. They're overbought. And so they should be coming back down just to take a breather on the monthly time frames. On the weekly, they look okay. But the monthly and the quarterly and the yearly, they're just insane. So I'll leave you with that. And if anything is set up. But there looks like on the markets today, currencies have got a lot to offer. Some really good stuff. And commodities, digital commodities, and oil's the only one that really doesn't look that well. So there we go. Have a good day, and I'll chat to you guys later.